Revision Cloud. This creates a sequential arc to form a cloud-shaped object. They are used to highlight your markups of a drawing during the review stage. For example, in a building elevation drawing, we should show some details of a wall or some joints that appear in the building, so that we make a markup of the portion and enlarge it in some other place in the drawing area to show its detail view. For this option, we can use Revision Cloud as a markup tool. The shortcut key used to type in the command line is REVCLOUD. Let's create a revision cloud. Go to the Draw menu and select Revision Cloud. Now the command line asks you to specify a start point to create a sketch. Specify a start point on the screen and drag the mouse without clicking any mouse buttons. You can see the cloud that forms on the drawing area. Now drag the mouse near the start point of the revision cloud. Thus the revision cloud sketch ends by closing it, and also the command is finished. Thus we created the revision cloud. Let's see some of the sub-options in the revision cloud. Arc length. This is used to specify the minimum and maximum arc length of the revision cloud. Go to the Draw menu and select Revision Cloud. Now the command line asks you to specify a start point. Now type A on the command line and press Enter to use the arc length option. Now the command line asks you to specify a minimum length of the arc. Thus specify the value as 1 and Enter. Now the command line asks you to specify a maximum length of an arc. Thus specify the value as 2 and press Enter. And finally, the command line asks you to specify a start point to start the sketch. Select a start point on the drawing area and drag the mouse to create a revision cloud. Now, to finish the sketch without closing the sketch, press Enter. Thus, now the command line asks you to specify whether arc sharp corners should reverse direction. Now type Y on the command line and press Enter to reverse the direction of the projection of sharp corners. Thus, the direction of projection of revision cloud arc is changed, and the sketch is created. Let's see the next option, Object. It is used to convert an entity or object into a revision cloud. For example, draw a circle on the drawing area using the Circle command. Drag the mouse to the Draw menu and select Revision Cloud. Now the command line asks you to specify the start point. Now type O on the command line and press Enter to use the Object option. Now the command line asks you to select an object. Now select the circle on the drawing area. The command line asks you to specify the direction of arc projections. Type N on the command line and press Enter to have the same direction projection of arc. Thus the object is converted into a revision cloud object using the Object option in a revision cloud. One more option in the revision cloud is Style. It is used to change the style of the revision cloud. There are two types of styles available in Revision Cloud. They are Normal. It displays the revision cloud as sketched by using a pencil. And Calligraphy. It displays the revision cloud as sketched by using a calligraphy pen, that is, a pen with some width. Spline. The shortcut key to use to type in the command line is SPL. Definition. A spline is a smooth curve that passes through or near a given set of points. Splines are created with the Spline command and are defined by an arbitrary number of control points. Here are the steps showing you how to create splines and describe the options of the Spline command. Go to the Draw menu and select Spline command. Now the command line asks you to specify a first point. Specify a first point on the drawing area. Then specify the next point on the drawing area to create more curved sketch. Now type F on the command line and press Enter to specify a fit tolerance, whereas fit tolerance determines how closely the spline object comes to the points used to define it. The default value of 0 forces the spline to pass precisely through the selected control points. Values greater than 1 allow the curve to pass that selected point within that tolerance value. Now, type the value as 1 on the command line and press Enter. Specify many points on the drawing area to sketch a spline. To create a closed spline, type C on the command line and press Enter. Now the command line asks you to specify tangent. According to the tangent point direction, the smoothness is created along the spline. Press Enter to accept the default tangent direction. To create an open spline, again enter the Spline command. For that, type SPL on the command line and press Enter. Specify the required points on the drawing area for a spline curve and press Enter to accept the default choice of tangency. Now the command line asks you to specify a start tangent. Specify a point on the drawing area to indicate the tangency at the start point. Now the command line asks you to specify an end tangent point. Specify a point on the drawing area to indicate the tangency at the end point, and thus the spline is drawn. Let's see a sub-option in the Spline command. That is, Object. To use this option, there is a need of some sketch. For this, create a rectangle on the drawing area. Otherwise, you can create any Polyline objects, which should be closed entities. Now, drag the mouse to the Modify menu and select the Object command. A number of options get highlighted. Here, select Polyline. Note, you can simply type PE on the command line to use the Polyline Edit command. Now the command line prompts you to select a polyline or multiple. Select the rectangle and press Enter. Now the command line prompts you to enter an option. From this option, select Spline by entering S on the command line and press Enter. Thus the rectangle is converted into a spline. Now press Enter to leave the command. Note, if you select that curve object now, it gets 4 grip points in blue color. Press Escape to deselect the curve object. Again, go to the Draw menu and select the Spline command. Now the command line prompts you to specify the first point or object. Enter O on the command line and press Enter. Now, select the object on the drawing area. Thus the rectangle is completely converted into a spline. And finally, press Enter to finish the command. Note, if you select the curve object now, it gets 6 grip points in blue color for more smoothness of the curve. Press the Escape key to deselect the curve object. And thus, the Spline command is finished.